Dumer Publishing presents Tales from the Liminal, written and narrated by S.K. Cruz. In this collection of 15 curious and delightful short stories, you never know who you're going to meet or where you're going to end up. You can be certain, however, that you'll always find yourself smack dab in the middle of some befuddling predicament of existence. Here are just a few snippets from a few of the stories. Mistakes may have been made. The Hersigns always took umbrage at any vocabulary that implied higher order or higher consciousness in the universe. It was a long story, but around the time the horses had gone metaphysical, the goats had gone material. It was the only way, they said, they could make sense of such a brutal world. This was all well and good, to each his own, etc., but they had the irritating habit of calling Horace out whenever he waxed Platonic or veered predestinarian. As far as Horace was concerned, however, it was all wasted, smelly goat breath, for only horses and pigs could follow such arguments, and the horses had given up philosophical debate, and the pigs didn't care about philosophy at all. But he needn't have worried about a Hersign haranguing, because the avian delegation arrived just then and swept through the tavern, creating a colossal kerfuffle. Eventually, the sparrows lighted on the windowsill and the starlings settled on the rafters, prompting the pigs to pull their beers in closer. Horace grimaced. He absolutely needed the avians, but that didn't mean he had to like them, or trust them. With those wings of theirs, they were just too free. Who knew where they went when they left the weekly meeting? No one could follow them. And they were so condescending, always claiming superior knowledge with their bird's-eye view of things, know-it-alls of the absolute worst order, and yet jealous of his education. Some species just couldn't stand a lettered pig. And the starling faction, criminals, every last one of them. When Horace first started his university, they'd flown overhead, doing their choreographed stunts and unleashing a blitzkrieg of their bowels upon his students, bullying him into a protection racket in which he'd been trapped ever since. He was so naive back then, it was entirely possible, though absolutely unprovable since no paper trail existed, that mistakes may have been made. Summoned by a Star. Your life begins as a seed atop a stalk, beneath azure skies and golden hues of wheat and sun. You sway in the summer breeze on rolling hills of grain until one day you're mowed down, plunged into the earth, cut off from the light. You tremble in the darkness. Cool drops trickle down to you. Nourished, you send forth a tiny shoot, knowing you weren't meant for this everlasting night. Mole tunnels through. Worm and beetle wriggle by. You summon life from your nascent store and a strange new growth anchors you. You send your shoot higher, but still there is only darkness. Beetle waddles again across your path, searching for her own. Worm inches past, blindly eating his way forward. You try to settle into shadow, but you ache for the light. Time passes. The earth cracks. Your thirst claws. Your pretty silken skirt of roots lies limp. You send what you can to your shoot, but it isn't enough. If you had tears, you would weep. Beetle is too free. She munches near your roots, stomping oblivious on their fragile tips. She saw Gertrude Stein in the condensation on her window. Margarita and says, "Did you know, Rick, that in days gone by, and in some isolated pocket still, those who have dreams and those who can interpret them are valued members of the community? Nowadays, if you know what your dreams mean, you're just a lonely middle-aged woman on her way to owning 13 cats and showing up downtown every lunch hour to play comfortably numb on a melodica in front of Starbucks." She starts crying and puts her head on my shoulder. Her hair is soft and smells like coconut. I don't say nothing, just put my arm around her and hold her nice against me. The truth is, I have dreams too. Dreams you might call significant. A few of them about Trayvon, but I don't pay no attention to them. In fact, I do my best to forget about them. I'm telling you, Seraphina, nothing about you seems too weird.
My daughter doesn't think so, she sniffed. She called from Germany last week to give me her monthly pitch to join a book club or a Pilates class, but I've never really liked that sort of group thing, and I said what I always do, thank you for the pep talk, and she said, it's not a pep talk, Mom, it's an intervention, and I guess what I really want to know is what's so wrong with seeing Gertrude Stein in the Condensation on my window. She pulls away from me, but grabs me by...
Thank you for listening. The audio edition of Tales from the Liminal is available on the audiobook platform of your choice, now including Spotify. Print and ebook editions are available for order through Amazon in your local bookstore. You can find out more about Tales from the Liminal at skkcruise.com. That's SKKRUSE.com. Thanks again, and as the ferryman says in one of these tales, always remember to look for the light.